Hi, it's James Rantry here again for Nick's Cool Stuff. Always linked to the right. Gonna do my final Alien review in the series, Alien Resurrection. And I think as you'll find out, contrary to the poster, Alien Resurrection doesn't really rock. So relax, gonna have spoilers, so if you haven't seen the film you might want to avoid it. So sit back and enjoy. So, as you can probably gauge from my last review, Alien should have been the end of the franchise. Shouldn't have been an Alien 3. Definitely shouldn't have been an Alien Resurrection. Even though there was an Alien 3, it put a complete end to the franchise. Ripley got killed. Shouldn't have been any more. Now they go and decide to clone her. Probably the worst idea in the whole history of the Alien franchise aside from Aliens vs Predator. The premise is that they obviously cloned Ripley, as I just mentioned. And along with her DNA was mixed in the DNA of the Queen, which works somehow. I mean, they were never fused together, so that's not very likely. And she's on the USS Auriga, which is a military research ship. And the aliens get loose again, as you'd expect. And she meets up with the crew who've been smuggling humans in so that the military can chest burst them and get the aliens and breed them again. She meets up with them and gets off the ship. And first of all, the aliens are pretty good in this film. They look really good. I mean, Alien vs Predator, over the top CGI. They look computer animated. Whereas in this one, it's a good blend between CGI and people in a suit. So, in its defense, it does the aliens well. However, before they escape the ship, Ripley runs into the Queen, who has evolved from the embryo that they cloned in her. And it gives birth like a normal human does, because it's got some of Ripley's reproductive systems, and it gives birth to the alien newborn. Possibly the single worst mistake in the whole history of the Alien franchise. It's awful. It is just horrible, and the way it goes up to Ripley and thinks it's a mother is just shouldn't happen. It's just awful. The whole feeling of this film isn't anything like the other aliens. I mean, if Alien 3 was like the first alien in a monastery or prison, then Alien Resurrection is like Aliens, but just nowhere near as successful. It does have some cool moments, like when the commander is sending everybody to the escape pods, and he gets the back of his head bit off, and he feels around and pulls out a little bit of his brain. That's quite cool. Uh, it's got some cool deaths in it. I'm not saying it doesn't, but many elements of the plot don't make sense, like the hybrid, the whole Call being an android is just a complete rip-off from Alien, and it's done nowhere near as well. It's pretty bad. The whole situation of humans bringing test subjects to the military is believable, and it's a fairly good plot element, but it doesn't go anywhere. I mean, it's just mentioned and then it's stopped. So it's a bit pointless, really. One very good part of it is the way the military clones Ripley, and you see how horrific the clones are. There should be some pictures showing you. It's pretty awful, and it does make you feel for Ripley, or Ripley number 7, as she should be known, because it's not the original Ripley. That is quite well done. It's a horrific scene. It does make you feel for the character, so it's quite well done. As I already mentioned, there's the newborn. Horrible mistake. Gets flushed out the window. It's quite a cool scene. And there's a difference at the end of the film between the theatrical version and the special edition, which is on the quadrilogy again. I strongly suggest you go and get that. Where in the theatrical version they just see Earth. I think it's been a long time since I've seen it, and it just ends. Whereas in the special edition, they land on Earth in front of a devastated Paris. It's like there's been a massive war and everything's just dead, which really sets itself up for a sequel pretty well, as there's room to say that there was an alien invasion and that everything got wiped out. That would be pretty cool. If I saw an Alien 5, I want to see a flashback to that war, and I want to see Earth gets devastated, because it would be fantastic. But anyway, back to Alien Resurrection, unfortunately. Acting is pretty poor all around. They make it look... I mean, if you've seen Joss Whedon's other series, Firefly, you can see the roots in this, in a ragtag band of space cadet people. But in this film, it's completely out of place. In Firefly, yes, it works fine. But in Resurrection, they're just a bunch of stereotypes, really, who just run around. There's a hard man, there's a disabled guy, there's the woman who turns out to be an android, and there's the mercenary. And they tag up with some Marines as well. They're all just stereotypes from the rest of the Alien series, really. And as I've already mentioned, the special effects pretty good. There's good head bites, there's good CGI, there's good models, there's good gore, like when the newborn gets flushed out into space, his intestines going out. And oh, the headburster, yeah, the guy they meet up with, he's one of the humans the crew have been trafficking, but he hasn't chest bursted, and he's walking around with the chest burster. And at the very end of the film, they get in the scientist they meet up with turns on them and goes mental and wants them to get off the ship so he can escape. And this guy with the chest burster just runs up to him, puts his head to his chest, and chest burster goes to his head. It's really cool. Probably the best bit in the film, actually. So overall, this film, you've got certain elements of it which are very dark, which work, and most of the rest of the elements which don't, just completely out of place in an Alien film, like the underwater scenes, awful. Acting, not very good. Even Sigourney Weaver's not up to much in it, and it's just generally not that good. Best part has to be the headburster scene, because that's really cool, and the cloning scene as well. That's very good. Worst bit of the film, the newborn, without a doubt. Just don't even go there. It's just awful. So overall, I give the film about 5, maybe a 4. The DVD, I have to give it a 10, because it's in the quadrilogy, so there's tons of special scenes. But overall, taking the DVD into account, I got to give it a 5, maybe a 6, if I'm on a generous day, because the film's just rubbish. There's just nothing in it at all. I mean, they even brought in that the aliens can spit acid, which is their blood. So how does that work? They're killing themselves to kill other people. So yeah, this really destroyed the Alien franchise for me. I mean, if they bring out an Alien 5, they'd have to show the war with the aliens, and they'd have to rectify the whole situation with the Earth. But yeah, really, if you like Alien 3, there's a chance you might like this. But no, it just really single-handedly destroyed the series. I mean, with the damage that Alien vs Predator's done, this did it before. I think this really killed off any chances of a decent sequel for quite some time before Alien vs Predator. So go to Nick's Cool Stuff, link on the right. So what have I got coming up for you next, seeing as I finished Alien? Well, I'm going to do the Predator series, some of my favourites as well, and Alien vs Predator, unfortunately. If you think I hate this film, you wait till I see what I think of that film. So this is James Rowntree. See you guys later.